You know, I did a video, but it was 4 or 5 years ago. I did a video for Restream.io. They're running a video contest, and you had to put about a 4-minute video together on their features. And their features were very basic at the time, but it was a new concept in multi-streaming. But let me tell you, Restream has grown a lot since then, and there's a lot that they can offer now, especially for live streamers looking to do podcasts, unboxing videos, interviews, that sort of thing. It's a very interesting platform to look for, and I think it's a great way for you to grow your brand without costing you any money, because there's a lot of free features, including multi-streaming. So let's go ahead now and get into the video. But before we get into the video, I want to thank Restream.io for sponsoring this video. Now, I'm going to show you different features that they have, some of which are paid, but most of these are going to be free features, and I'll make sure I cover everything that they offer for free so that you can, you know, determine whether or not it's going to work for your content or not. So let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Restream.io. So log in to Restream.io. This is where you're going to start, and you have a couple options. You can sign up for free using your email password, or for me, I will log in. And I am going to type in my username and password. And this is where you can now get to the dashboard for Restream.io. Now, this main screen here is where your multi-streaming comes into play. So you can add Twitch and YouTube for free. It does not cost you a thing. Anything with RTMP like Facebook Live will cost you additional if you want to add that. Now, I think you can add Facebook Live by itself, but you cannot have it with additional channels. Okay, so that's what you need to consider. So what I'm going to do, most people are streaming on Twitch and YouTube, so I will connect both of my accounts. So we'll click on Twitch, and these have the APIs built in. So if you're already logged into Twitch like I am right here, then the API will link up and everything will work just great. You may have, if you have 2FA set, you may need to go and change that, you know, answer the key and put all that in. But here you can add, you know, whatever title category you want here. Now I'm just going to add what I've already got filled in here just to show you. But so this is how it shows up here. You can turn it on and off if you don't want to. When you go live and you don't want to necessarily stream to one of the channels that you have, you can turn it on and off, which is really nice. And then the settings here is where you get to add your title and category for your game, or whatever Twitch has for different channel categories. So you can go that, you can add another channel, and you can see all of the different platforms that you can live stream to. And a lot of these are over in Asia and Europe. But for us here in the US, I will connect my YouTube channel and the Frugal Streamer. Again, the API is already built in, so it's fully integrated, which is really nice. And you just hit the allow so the API can talk, and then it'll bring in all the settings. Again, here you have a little dashboard where you can create an event. You can bring in a former stream that you've done already. And then what this will do, it'll set it up in your live stream manager where you can then go and you can schedule, or you can go into the dashboard and go live directly from there, which is really nice. All right. So now I have both of my channels set up. It's very easy to then live stream to that using OBS. And what you would do is you just go to the RTMP settings right here, streaming software RTMP settings, and it's going to give you the URL for their servers and a stream key. And then it's simply going into OBS and then setting up a stream, going into settings and stream, and copy and pasting the URL and the stream key in there, and then you'll be ready to go. Restream will ingest all of your video, and then it will disseminate it to both of your different platforms at the bitrate that you set inside of OBS Studio. So you will be sending 6,000 bitrate for Twitch and YouTube separately. If you can only support 8,000, say an 8,000 bit rate upload, say your upload speed's only 10 or 12 up, well, then you can then send 6,000 to Restream, and then they will handle the extra load for you. So that's a little thing you need to know about. It's really nice. So a nice little multi-stream feature that they have here. So again, if this is all free, you can stream to YouTube and Twitch for free. It doesn't cost you a thing, which is really nice. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is their live studio that's built in. It's a browser-based live streaming broadcast software that you can set up a live stream in. It's really geared for podcasting, maybe doing camera unboxings, having multiple cameras set up, doing interviews. Very similar to something like Zoom or Teams, except you're broadcasting this and you're adding in graphics and all that kind of stuff. So we'll go ahead and go into that now. And this is also free with some limitations, but I will go through the free features and I'll show you exactly what you can do with Live Studio. But it's going to involve me having to shut my camera down. So let's go ahead and set up for that. Okay, so when you want to go to Live Studio, you're in your dashboard and you have a couple options, and we'll do the first one. But this is Live Studio if you wanted to live stream to one of your platforms. If you just wanted to record the video without going live, then you can use Start Recording, but they both bring up the same controls. So we'll go into Live Studio. Takes a little minute. Initial setup, it's going to ask you to add your name for a label here for your camera, and then you can go in and adjust the settings, including green screen, which they now have. That if you use a green screen, you have green screen functionality within your camera, which you can go into settings here. You can go to video, and then you can see here you got different things where you can change the resolution of your camera. You can change the source. You can go into green screen here. They have a guide here. You can add backgrounds. If you have a chroma key color that you want to use, you got different colors that are automatically set, and you can go in and do a custom color if you want to. But that is all there in your settings, which is really nice. So this is the general UI for the Live Studio. To the left, you have basically all of your layers of things that you want to add to your scene here, which is what is currently taken up by my camera in this little label. That is all on the left side. You can also invite guests here by simply taking and copying and pasting this link into, say, email or Discord or some sort of message app. And you can also enable what they have called Restream Pairs. Restream Pairs is a way that you can allow other people that are going to be, say, in your podcast or whatever, they can link their Twitch channel to your live stream. So it's just as if you're live streaming directly to their channel. And this is a great new feature. You can do this by creating an event, or now you can also do this on the fly. The people that once you invite them, they can enable it for their channel automatically, and you will then be live streaming to their channel, which is really cool. A very nice little feature. So this is all your sources that you will then control what comes in and out of the scene here and what size they are. Currently I am maximized. By clicking on that to turn it off, you just slide this little thing to the left and right, and you can control the audio level for your microphone right here. Now keep in mind, all the way up is not 100, it's like 150 or whatever. Oh yeah, 150. So they come default set to 100, and you can adjust that as necessary for what you need. All right, in the middle here, this is where you have a lot of your main settings and what you're going to use to set up for your main sources for your stream. Here you have different scene layouts that you can choose depending on the number of guests, and different options, like you have this picture-in-picture mode where if you're sharing a screen, it will do that, and I'll show you that in a second. Down at the bottom, you have a mute for your microphone and a disable for your camera. You have a screen share function. By clicking on that, you can then select what screen you want. You can do a window, or you can use the Chrome tab if you're wanting to show something within Chrome that you can then set up. And also it's good to know that it is good to use Chrome for Restream. I think you can use either Chrome or Firefox to use Restream.io, and that is something that you do need to know. So I'll tell you what, we will go and we will share my OBS window since I'm recording. It'll be kind of funny to look. And so you see now that I've turned the screen sharing on. Now I have this little thing over here to the left that is grayed out. That shows you that it's not currently set up to go into your scene, but I can then turn it on, and then you see the scene is shifted. I have my camera now here at the bottom. This is the cinema mode that is currently shown, and my screen here at the top. You also have the cover mode where you can have your screen left or camera right, or you can simply drag your camera over to the left and it'll switch them over depending on what you want. Here is contain, where you can have your camera and your display, and then if you wanted to add a background, I'll add a background here just to do it. You can have a background running behind that. Okay, this is really good for podcasting. If you have multiple cameras here and you want them both showing at the same time, this is a great layout to use. But you can see all these different ones you have here depending on what you're going to be using, which is a really cool little feature. All right. Again, you can invite guests. You have another button here where you can invite guests, and we just showed you that. Let me drop this source. Okay, and I will use my camera. The next thing, this is important, is to add sources. You can add a local video. You can do an RTMP source. Say you're going to ingest something from Zoom or something like that. You could do that. Or you can add some background music. Okay, I will add a local video just to run through it. Now, this is a video we ran for a podcast recently. So I'll bring that in. And again, it's going to show up gray down here at the bottom. And then when you want to play it, you just turn it on. And it should add it to my right. So this is the video that is currently running. You should hear some music. I'll turn it down a little bit so you can see the difference in the audio. And if I wanted to maximize the video, I would just click to maximize and it would hide my camera and the background. And what's nice about that is that also notice that it has this nice little transition kind of effect to it, which is really neat. It just doesn't automatically do it. It adds this nice little transition that I really like a lot. You also have the ability to loop the video here if you wanted to do that. All right, so let's turn the video off. And so that's basically how you would set up a live stream podcast, for instance, here. Namely, you could have, for the standard version, which I'm paying for now, you can have up to 10 guests. I think the 3 version is 3 guests. But for most people, that's about as many, guests as you have on a podcast anyway. So that's a really nice feature. All right, so that is pretty much everything in the middle. One more thing I will show you, and this is a private chat, and this is actually really nice. So this is a feature that they've added with Studio where all your guests can see chat between each other, but your public chat, where you're live streaming to, will not see this. They will not see this on their view. So you can, if you have little messages that you want to keep private between the guests, say you're going to ask a question or something, you can have it set up there. This is a nice little feature. We actually used this quite a bit while we were podcasting last weekend, which is really nice. Okay, so now let's focus on the right side here. So the right side is where you have 3 main tabs. The first tab is your chat. Okay, now this is actually what you'll be seeing while you're producing a podcast, live streaming, whatever. And the great thing about this is that this incorporates all of your platforms that you have connected to Restream all into one chat layer, which is really nice. And you can see here, I've got the Restream, you've got the Frugal Streamer Twitch and the Frugal Streamer YouTube all right here. And so if I were live on all those channels, as the viewers chatted, it would show up into this chat overlay. Okay, which is really nice. And you can also put your chat overlay on your live stream scene. So just turning that on. And now over here, and I will say hi just to show you how it looks. This is what it looks like. And on the right side, you can see that it adds this kind of opaque little layer here that you can see that kind of sets a border for your chat. But this is really nice. Now, say I wanted to show a chat that you want to show on your scene. Simply by hovering over it and hitting the show, it will then give you a nice little lower third for your chat. And it can go in pretty detail. Like, you know, you can ask, you know, if your chat decided, you know, it asked a crazy question like this: where is the coldest place in the world? They chatted that and you wanted to show it. And, you know, say you had the chat overlay and you wanted to show this, then it will show a nice little lower third for your chat, which is really cool. A very neat thing. So the chat's nice. We used this when we did a Q&A portion for the podcast last week and had the chat set up here where you could do it. And then if we really did see something nice, then we would definitely pop it on the channel like that, and then we would discuss it, which is really cool. Another little thing here, you see these little stars. You can bookmark these chats. Say you see something that you're interviewing somebody or you're doing something, and you want to bookmark this for later, then you can hit the star and it's going to pin these messages up to 50, I believe. And then you can go back and you can click on these and you can go through all the ones that you've pinned, and then you can show those on your stream again by clicking the show and then going back to hide once you're done, which is really nice. So that's a really nice feature too. So this chat overlay is really nice, really neat feature to add to your scene for your stream. Second area is captions. Now this is pretty crazy. So if you want to use lower thirds, you know, they have these preset lower thirds that you can use. This is where you would go in and set up everything that you would want to show. Now, this is the podcast that we did, and I had a series of questions that was given to me as the producer that I've gone in and typed in, and you could see all these questions that are here. And, you know, like I did the title of the podcast, which if I click show, it shows up like a lower third. Okay, and you hit hide. Say we were going into a segment where the host was talking about a certain theme, you know, I could bring that up like that. Very easy to do. Of course, we have all these questions here, you know, that she would ask, and it was really a nice feature to have all of these different little questions preset up. And that's what captions are. Very cool. And you can go in here at the very bottom and you can, you know, type in whatever you want to add, you know, as a primary text and a secondary text, which is optional. But really neat thing to do here. And I'll show you, just say, let's add Twitter. And then I'll say at TFS_pod. And you hit add. And so that's what it'll look like. And you hit show. And that's kind of what it does, which is really cool. All right, so that is captions. Very easy to understand, and definitely something say if you're producing a podcast, you're going to want to go in ahead of time and set up all these questions so that you can have them ready to go. Now, brand settings. Now, this is where you control the colors of your lower thirds. You can change kind of the style a little bit. Like they have this rounded one. They have the news one here, you know, which goes all the way across the bottom. This is the default, which I really like. You can go in here and change the color if you want, including the hex code. If you have a hex code for your brand color, you can add that in, or you can use the screen picker, which is really nice. And you can see what that does here. And I'll choose, let's see if I can get in here tight, choose something. Let's find something. Let's do this green here. There you go. So now you can see it's changed the colors there of the different themes for your captions. Now you have logos. Now by default for the free one, you will get this Restream logo and you cannot remove it. To remove it, you would have to pay for the standard plan. Once you get the standard plan, you can add your own logos. And this was the watermark that I used for the Gamers We Care podcast that I added in. You can add your own branding, do whatever you want. Use this hover because this gives you the guidelines. They recommend you use a 512 by 512 pixel image. Okay. And these are all PNGs because they have alphas. You can see alphas are supported in this. The next thing is overlays, which you want to get cheeky and you can add overlays. By default, I think you do get this one that you can add. They do have some Christmas ones in here that are themed that are really neat. You can also add your own overlay if you want to make your own overlay. You have that ability. Again, it supports alpha, so you can do that. Video clips. So here are video clips. These are little clips like a timer, for instance, that you can run. Now these will disable your microphone, I do believe, if you click that, and I will turn it on, and it should give me a message here at the bottom saying that that's what happens. So there you go. You saw the little message come in at the top saying your mic is muted while you're showing that. But you got all these different little countdowns that are really cool. So pretty neat. They got a ton of different color options and different styles, which is cool. You can also add your own video clip if you wanted to do that. Lastly, you got backgrounds, and that's currently what I'm running now. If I were to go back to the screen share, you would see what I was running here. And I'll select this. Turn it on. And so this is the backgrounds you see here. You can change different ones. You have some that are animated. I think the animated ones come with the standard plan. You do get a lot of these for free though, including these static images here at the bottom. So you got a number of options for the standard and up plans. In any of the paid plans, you can upload your own background using an image. Again, they give you the information button where you can get the information on you're going to need for your background. So here you have a recommended size of 1080p. Okay. Video clips also here. It tells you supported formats, MP4, Flash video, MOV, TS, WebM, GIFs, or GIFs. And then the max size of that is 300 megabytes. So keep that in mind. So that's it for the most part with the live studio. It's really neat. You also have a need help function down here, which is like a bot where you can ask questions and they will get back with you there. Here you can do the editing of your title. You can change the content type, all that stuff right there. You do see all of your connected channels and destinations here at the top. And when you want to go live, you are now live like that. It gives you a little countdown, which is really nice. So I'm going to end that, as everybody's probably going to be wondering what in the world are you going live for? But that is pretty much Restream's live studio in a nutshell. Now notice what it's doing here, and this is a really cool feature, and I wanted to show you this. So this automatically records your podcast, your stream, whatever you're doing. After you're done going live, it's going to prepare your recordings and it's going to give you some options. So we'll wait here for it to get done. All right, so you can now download your recordings. Okay, so for me, having the standard plan, I can download full video or I can download the full audio. If you upgrade to the Pro plan or any above that, you will then get the ability to also download separate audio tracks, and that'll depend on how many people you have invited into your stream. But if you have 4 people that are talking, they have microphones, have audio. If you have music that's going to be playing, each of those will have its own separate audio track. So when you can go back and edit this, say if there's a portion, like say somebody was moving their microphone boom arm or something while somebody else was talking and it made some noise, you can go back in and clip that out, and then you would not hear that anymore, which is really nice. And I like that a lot. I wish that it was with the standard plan because I sure could have used it last week. Regardless, that is Live Studio in a nutshell. Really easy to do. Again, I told you you can either live stream or you can either record. To hit the start recording, again, it's just going to bring up Studio, and instead of having a go live button, you now have start recording, which is really cool. That is the Live Studio function. Really nice. I like it a lot, and I use it all the time. Now, the third thing here is events, and you can go in and you can create an event, and you can use, you can do a video. Now, what you could do here is if you have a video file that you've recorded, that you say you want to record a podcast or something like that, or an unboxing video, and you wanted to live stream it as an event, then you can set that video file here. You can also set up your encoder RTMP for OBS, that sort of thing, or you can use the Restream Studio to set up an event. So here I will go in and do the Restream Studio. And again, we'll type in test event, testing for the description. And you can go in and set the date. They give you the calendar where you can go in and set it. And we'll set it for say 16 October or 16 December. Oh my goodness. Again, they have the time here. This time, the time zone is based on what you have currently set for your PC. And if you wanted to upload a thumbnail, say you have a thumbnail you made for your video, then you can do that there, which is really cool. You hit next, you can add whatever channels you want to do, send the event to. I will just do Twitch this time. You can go and add channels there. Again, verify the date you set and the time, and then you create the event. And then it will show up in your dashboard. And you also, if you wanted to invite the guests to this event that you're having later, say you scheduled people to come on your podcast, then you will send them this link so that they can be added to the event, which is really cool. And then also, this is where you would disable and enable pairs so that they can tie their platforms into yours so that you will live stream to theirs too, which is really cool. So, and then once you have it all set up, then you have the test event there, and then you can go in and enter the studio, set up everything like you did before, and then go live, and it will go to this event here, which is really neat. So that is events, which is really nice, super easy to understand. The next one is video storage. Now you get a certain amount of storage depending on the plan that you're subscribed to. But the requirements for that are in your plan. It'll show you that, and I'll go through that here in a second. But you have recordings here. You can see these are all recordings we've done. This is actually the some of the videos that we've done that we were playing around with, showing off how to do it. Now, Mizzy, who is the host of the GWC podcast, she was in Germany. I'm in the US. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it was so seamless. The latency, there was really no latency issues or anything that we dealt with. It was just seamless how we set this up, which was really nice. This is the actual podcast we ran. And you can see Mizzy and talking to Winnie the Pooh there. And you can see some of the things that we had running. Here's the chat where we had chat running. You can see that, which is really cool. Again, Mizzy is in Germany. Winnie the Pooh is in the US. I don't know exactly where she's at, but you can see this was a Twitch, and this is something I wanted to show you too. Let me pause it. You'll know which platform the person is chatting from because they'll put the YouTube icon, Twitch icon in their little avatars there, which is really nice. You can also see your bot, like we were using Stream Elements for a bot. The bot messages, if you have those set up to go to your chat, they will also show up in here too. And that's kind of how we use this for follows. We would know that if somebody followed, subscribed, that sort of thing, we would see it in the chat, which is really cool. So that's a really neat thing. The video storage is there for you to use, and you can upload videos if you wanted to. The next thing is a scheduler, and this is where you would set up your recorded videos for live streaming later, which is really cool. Here you would upload a video, you would add your channels again, and you would set up the event like we talked about before. That's all the cool things for your live stream, but they also have analytics. Now, analytics will show you, certain things like how many streams you've done, your duration, your stream time, average viewers, max viewers, all kinds of these stream metrics that are built in, which is really cool. So there's all kinds of different things that you can get inside of your analytics, which is really nice. And this is a great thing that they didn't have when they first started Restream. The second thing is a chat app. Now, this is nice because this is standalone. This is free. You can download this and use this so that if you're multi-streaming to your different platforms, you can monitor your chat. You can also do this in a stream that gives you the embedded URL that you can add this to your stream inside of OBS if you wanted to do that, which is a really nice little feature. Now, Monitor gives you streaming seconds. You can see here, this is, again, dashboard for viewers. I think this is the live stream that we did. You can see our average view count as it went down. Watched minutes gives you a lot of stats. Number of followers that came through. Chat messages, again, chat trends. These are all numbers based analytics that you can use. It's really neat that they give you all this information. And then lastly, you have your help center. Of course, here your settings is where you go in and you do all of your account settings, password, billing, payments, streaming setup. Again, this gives you your RTMP URL and the stream key. You can even do a speed test here. Email settings, social alerts. You can go in and connect Discord. You can connect your Facebook. You can have a going live text that will get sent out if you want that. And then you have branding here where you can, you know, if you wanted to add Restream links to your social alerts and that sort of thing, you could. I currently have those disabled. And then lastly, there is a referral program. So if you decided you wanted to do a referral program, you can set up a personal link. You can, do that, and you do get a cut off of your referrals, which is a really nice thing if you decide to do that. So that's Restream in a nutshell. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed taking a deep dive into Restream's functions. I think it's really good for people that are wanting to do their own podcast, and they have a bunch of guests, even all around the world. It really just works seamlessly. And if you're doing videos like unboxings and that sort of thing, then I think Restream will work really well for you. I've even used it for doing seminar type lessons on streaming to a group of people in Discord or even inside of, somebody else's Twitch channel. So it does really work well for a number of types of content. So anyway, guys, if you got any questions, please comment below. I'll try to answer them the best as I can. I do appreciate, again, Restream thank you for sponsoring this video and giving me the opportunity to use your software. I do have affiliate links down below if you want to check out Restream for yourself. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your week. Be safe out there, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.